And there is no rule against the inverted pallets that you're seeing here. This is perfectly within the rules.
JC doing the Lord's work over here. Alright, not much to say. They are both off and running, and this game starts, even be it casual, be it speedrun, be it DX, be it regular, it starts the same way. We talk to Terran, we get the shield, and then they decide, you know what we need? We need a little bit more cutting in our lives. They go down to the beach to get the sword.
And we're going to walk by Bow Wow. We'll get to know him very well later. Spoiler alert. Some kids playing baseball or fetch or whatever you want to call it. Catch.
They're playing whatever ball.
We're going to... Yeah, whatever you want to call it. So we're going to go find a sharp object on the beach. It turns out we lost this sharp object. While we're down here, we're going to be visited by an owl who points out that we lost our sharp object. Thank you, we didn't know that.
You're not going to be able to tell because they're playing on Japanese, but the text actually says that you know it's your sword because it has your name engraved on it. Link,
exactly.
Link very much the epitome of, I don't see your name on it. Yeah, you do. Give it back.
Yes, I'm aware that my name is on it. This is my sword. Get out of here, owl.
There are
anyway,
many like it, this one's yours.
Victory music, and off we go. And we're going to try and collect some rupees now. Rupee duping. They want to get 10 rupees before they go to rob the convenience store.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Remember, a hero never robs. A hero just, necessitates. Yeah.
Precisely. Looks like JC is ahead in the rupee count, but stopped to think about it and lost a small amount of time collecting. They're now tied on rupees, and JC's going to start rupee collecting right now in the grass. Finds a couple, gets a dupe, and he's on his 10. He's going to the shop. So he's going to start by picking up a 200 rupee shovel. And, hey, I want this shovel. You're going to let me take it, right? Thank you. Thank you. I'll have a nice day. Oh, I forgot something. Oh, no, don't kill me!
This is the unspoken story of the shopkeeper that I never knew I wanted. Also, I have to wonder what on earth is up with this shovel, because in real life, shovels aren't 200. Unless it's like, rupee is like a yen, you know, maybe it's like $2 shovel, in which case, oh my god.
Yeah, who knows. Anyway, MChan also getting killed by the shopkeeper. Fun fact, by the way, you can't really tell because it's, again, Japanese, unless you can read Japanese. But when you actually steal from the shop, they change your name to Thief.
You know, I don't know if it does that in Japanese. I actually spent an entire day trying to figure it out, and I didn't find anything about that. I know it does in English, but I'm not sure about Japanese.
Yeah, it does in English, I know. I actually read that, believe it or not, in Nintendo Power Magazine. I think is where I read that. So I thought that's kind of a funny way to tell you didn't play the game the way we want you to.
Nintendo being the responsible parenting figure in this relationship.
Exactly.
But so anyways, fun thing. Oh.
I was just going to say, we're collecting a bag of powder now, which has one use in this game.
Oh, JC petting the dog with a sword instead of his hand, getting this a little bit of suffering for it. Yeah, this is the actual reason they were farming 10 rupees. I mean, it turns out that you actually can't do the trick with buying the bombs without paying for them unless you have 10, so that's an added bonus, but the real reason is the powder.
Yeah, that's what you're actually spending the money on. So now that they're bankrupt, and having grabbed everything they need without paying for it, they're now on their way through the forest, which looks a little poisonous on JC's side because of his palette choice.
Yeah, there's a lot going on here, though. They both ducked into that house to set a save and quit point, because that is allowed in this category, and the bombs are super duper important throughout. They're both about to use them to completely break sequence here. Yeah, JC making sure to kill that moblin, because you have to kill the moblin for the trick to work, and then he's going to drop 2 bombs on the screen transition, 4 frames apart, and the game doesn't know where to put that second bomb, because you're not supposed to be able to drop bombs that close together, and it causes events to trigger on whichever screen you're on, which in this case is the Terran turning back into a human from a raccoon cutscene.
Yeah, normally that screen gets you lost in the forest, and, well, you're not lost in the forest anymore. You got what you needed, and guess what? We're off to the first dungeon.
Yep. What we needed was that D1 key, and they both got it. JC just having some real trouble with enemy positioning, just taking extra hits. Not a huge deal in this game, but this early on, 3 hearts can go pretty quickly if you're not careful.
By the way, hitboxes for keys.
Yeah, that's due to a thing that they've actually been doing, but has not been clear. If you walk into a corner, you actually link a couple of extra pixels into it. It's called wall clipping, and it has many uses, including being able to put keys in on the wrong side of keyholes. And you're about to see a really important use of it, in fact, in this dungeon. So get yourselves ready for that. Pop yourself some popcorn, sit down, and get ready.
Yeah, this is kind of mind-boggling if this is even possible. I mean, it shows how, broken this game is, as JC gets slowed down by one of the blobs. McHan is not similarly slowed down. They're about a second or two apart right now. And McHan takes a slight lead now. Again, it is only a lead, not the lead.
Oh yeah, there's probably going to be a lot of back and forth, especially early on, before we start getting to some of the, I guess, less forgiving tricks. Indeed.
And go ahead.
Neither of them opting to damage boost or use shield to get past those, get past the I forget what those are called. But you can actually get past them faster if you take a hit or use your shield, but both of them opting to wait.
So there's a key that is going to be very important, but not for the purpose you think it would be. We're going to be leaving a key behind in this dungeon, because there's a block coming up that we're going to, we don't need to use the key, we can just jump over it.
Uh-huh. Ooh, JC having a little bit of trouble clipping into the wall, because that is critical for this trick, which we call super jumping.
And now we'll use that key. And this is a case of the bow breaking the game.
Yeah, the bow is very much a mid to late game item. The game is not designed for expecting you to have the bow this early on. And it'll two-shot mini-bosses and just make an absolute mockery of a lot of enemies.
I think this is why the English game does the thief thing and the Japanese one might not, because they realized, people figured out how to steal items. This was meant to be a developer trick, not something for fans. So we have to basically tell Americans that they're oh no, JC! What happened? What happened, JC?
Moldorm being Moldorm. Moldorm is... we joke saying... A lot of people will say Moldorm is the hardest boss, but that's not actually being ironic or a joke. Moldorm is one of the hardest bosses in the game, just because of the small platform and getting knocked into the pit. Unfortunately, like DX, you can't just hold jump and go back up, because if you do that, you might end up wrong warping. And as you see, this is a warpless tournament. That is one of the few things that are not allowed.
And
so you gotta walk around the correct way.
And fans in chat bringing up the link to the past term, Trolldorm strikes again.
Uh-huh, ain't the truth.
Indeed. And the kids are now concerned that something happened to the neighborhood dog, aka Chain Chomp.
No, excuse me, Chain Chomp nothing, that's a dog. Or a friend. Chain Chomp, please, this ain't Mario.
The Goombas that were in the first dungeon beg to differ.
Those aren't Goombas, those are, Loombas.
Okay. Anyway, we're gonna go save everyone's favorite round black ball with Jaws. And
Best
this is where he is.
Yep. Moblins have taken him. Thankfully, Moblins' one weakness is a sword, and we happen to have one of those.
That seems convenient.
A little bit of positioning and a couple of well-timed sword spins. McHan can finish off King Moblin here in 2 rounds.
Worth knowing the cutscene skipped on there as well. You pause, you can get, basically it's up the cutscene, and you don't have to see the cutscene.
Yep. One cool thing about the save and quit menu in this game is it can be used to skip all manner of cutscenes and dialogue boxes. So you're going to be seeing them use that a lot when they do things like open chests or get up onto long dialogues. They can just skip them with save and quit.
So this Chain Chomp, if you happen to walk down to the village now with this Chain Chomp, which we're not going to do, by the way, because it's slow, and you try to take him home, he says you're asked to take him out for a walk for a while. So we're going to just do that on our own accord. We're going to take him out for a walk. We're never going to take him home. We're going to keep him.
Bow Wow is your constant companion through the rest of any percent warpless, and I wouldn't have it any other way.
Yeah, we're just the absolutely wonderful, wonderful guests who... We'll take the dog for as much long of a walk as you want us to. We'll just keep him out permanently if you want us. Now,
here's a fun thing about Dungeon 2. This is where things are going to start going off the rails. You saw M-Chan, get rid of powder. You're going to see JC do the same. That's because they're going to be getting the mushroom after. And the other thing is, once they get the bracelet, they're just going to split. They're not going to finish the dungeon. That's going to happen much, much later.
JC had to wait for the for Bow Wow to decide it was hungry to eat one of the plants. It's finally inside. And yeah, this is one of 2 dungeons that we're actually be doing this in. The other one we're going to be doing that in later is Dungeon 8, where we're not going to finish that one either. We're going to finish those 2 dungeons at the end, because it's quicker to get those out of the way, up on the way back up the mountain to the Windfish.
Ooh, M-Chan's so fast that Hinox's music did not even spawn. That's the power of the bow and arrow.
Yep, you can avoid hearing music you don't want to hear.
Alright, now, turns out bow and arrow is so strong, it'll actually knock ghosts around. And there we go, with the bracelet, he's going to save and quit. And a couple of things before he heads to D3. He's going to go get himself that mushroom, and he's going to go set the warp point near D4 entrance. Thankfully, because of saving and quitting, this is by far the most convenient way of doing it. Just do one, save and quit, do the other, save and quit, go upon your merry way.
Yep. And getting those teleporters activated is going to be key later on, because we use those later to get around the world fast. So we need to make the time to do this now if we want to make use of them. So we're going to pass that keyhole. We'll use that later. There's a teleporter, save and quit.
Yep, all you have to do is see the screen, and that counts. Now he's going to get the mushroom, because the mushroom is very useful. Normally you'd say, oh, you hold it up and Link just looks at it, and that's that. No, well, it turns out Link looking at the mushroom, he becomes so engrossed in the mushroom, he ignores literally everything else, including gravity. And that's incredibly useful to us. We're going to be using it immediately.
Yeah, who knew a mushroom had that kind of power? I mean, no wonder the witch wants it Link to the Past, right?
I mean, yeah. Witch knows what's up.
Yeah, the witch understands. We're going to jump over the Heart Piece of Shame.
Alright, now they're going to be heading on down to Dungeon 3. Dungeon 3, another one of those dungeons that has a key to open it. Now, normally to get the key, you have to do this entirely long side quest, going to Canalit Castle, get some golden leaves, talk to Richard, go through a maze. Turns out, we can skip all that by using the mushroom to get into the maze early, which is kind of bonkers. You'll see here in just a few seconds.
Who wants to do all that anyway? I mean, you go get in the maze, just get in the maze.
Yeah.
So, here we go. We're gonna defy gravity, and, there you go.
Just like that.
Zip! We're in the maze.
Yet normally, without the mushroom, they would have to be doing there would be a whole lot of pause buffering involved, which you do in DX, but you can't really pause buffer in this game like you do in DX, so thankfully the mushroom exists. Ooh, M-Chan accidentally falling into the hole.
That's not going to cost him as much. Well, that second one is eating up more time. It's not going to cost him as badly as the fall on Moldorm did for JC. Just a little bit of time by comparison, but still, that time is time that JC can use to catch up.
Yeah, and Dungeon 3 is not a long dungeon. There's a couple of spots where you can lose a lot of time or outright soft lock. Thankfully, once again, wall clipping, input the key into the keyhole from the other side.
Yeah, just insert your arm through the wall and get it, and you know, strain it. That's all you gotta do. And the pod opens the door conveniently.
D3 is also going to be the most likely only appearance of the Piece of Power, a useful little pickup that if you kill 30 enemies without saving and quitting or dying, you pick it up and oh, not the acorn though. Acorn's bad news. Yeah, if you have the acorn, you can't get the Piece of Power. Piece of Power lets you do double damage and move faster, which is useful for, you know, just going fast, and also for the aforementioned soft lock. With Piece of Power, you're less likely to accidentally land in the wall. Ooh, that was acorns.
The acorn is usually more likely to appear first, I find. That's twice what we've seen it appear already.
Yeah, 10 enemies without taking a hit and you'll get an acorn, so you have to be really mindful of that. There it is, Piece of Power.
There's the Piece of Power. And now they have their Piece of Power! They can now, destroy things.
Or skip things. Ooh, M-Chan, unfortunately not quite getting that super jump. It's gonna have to reset. He's gotta be careful. Oh no.
Oh no.
He's got to be careful, though, because he has to get into position, do the super jump quickly, and at the correct height, because if he tinks off that snake at the wrong time or too low, he'll get stuck in those blocks. Ooh!
Oh,
he almost got stuck.
Did he mean to use the key there?
He did not. That's bad news, actually.
Yeah, I didn't think he meant to do that. That's going to give JC a chance to take the lead.
Yeah, he's going to have to get an extra key.
Let's hope he remembers where that key is.
Oh, wait. Did he open the one at the top or the one on the bottom?
He opened both of them. He opened 2 key blocks.
2 key blocks? Hang on, let me see that room again.
They were 2 different rooms next to each other.
Okay, you didn't open this one, that's fine. So...
Oh,
okay, no, he's good. He's good.
Yeah,
he's
apparently he's good. He didn't open the lower one, so that's the one
Okay.
that we were concerned about.
Yeah, no, you have to open that top one.
Yeah, the top one, and then looks like you have to open that one.
Yeah. Yeah, I got a little bit confused there for a moment because I was trying to see where JC was when you... And I'm just like, wait, what did he open? What did he open? Oh man, M-Chan just having a real big trouble with that suit with the Dodongo skip, but he finally gets it, and he's going to do another flock clip to clip around that block right there.
And, what was that you said about Mario enemies?
I mean, I don't know about you, but I've seen plants that try to eat you in comic books as well. That's not specifically a Mario thing. And here we go, it's time for the boss. Slime Eye. Thankfully, Piece of Power makes Slime Eye a lot quicker.
This is Cold Sarah's younger cousin who went to Koholint Island. That didn't last very long.
Nope. And here we go. Now he's going to go for the first of... There we go! He gets it! Just like that. That's what we call an instrument cutscene skip. It's a frame-perfect trick. You have to pull up the menu on the same frame that Link lands and picks up the instrument. And if you do, you can skip that entire cutscene of it playing with a save and quit. But it is frame-perfect, so it's not easy, even with a little bit of pause buffering.
And after our owl interlude, we're going to jump across the islands and leave Dungeon 3. JC, meanwhile, is now doing his own trip through the 2 keyhole blocks, and is going to try and make his way around now. Bow Wow, meanwhile, is having a snack.
Bow was always hungry.
Yep. Up, ate the shark.
Alright, now M-Chan's going to be on his way to get the Dungeon 4 key next, but he's going to take an intentional death after he does an important trick, so that's why you see him taking damage here. But yeah, you remember that thing with the raccoons? Oh, M-Chan playing it smart, taking a safety save here, because if this trick goes wrong, you soft lock. He's about to use another bomb trigger here in order to get around the walrus that wants to hear Marin sing, but we don't want to go do the Marin thing. It takes forever.
Yeah, we're not going to get Marin. We're just going to act like she's already here.
Yep. You know how it is. Link takes a that red-haired wig, slaps on the bomb, and does his best impression, and as far as the walrus is concerned, sounds exactly the same.
Yeah, they sound exactly the same. You have no idea.
Now here's the important part. He has to get back off screen after that text box, but before the rabbit arrives. Perfect. Because if you leave too soon, the walrus comes back. If you leave too late, you can't move, and you have to reset.
And now we're going to take that death. Press F to pay respects. And he's back in the Animal Village.
There's a reason for that. The reason being that until he takes that death and restarts, his buttons are actually locked. The only thing he can do is move. He can't pause, he can't open the map, he can't use A or B. So you have to take that death in order to unlock everything. And now here's an empty room.
Well, normally this is not an empty room, but for our purposes, because we're carrying a fictional dog with us, this is an empty room.
Oh no, it's an empty room no matter, even if Bow Wow isn't with you. Alright, M-Chan going to be using those teleports to get back up to Dungeon 4. Now that he has the key, he can stop the waterfall.
The power of water dispelled.
Another fun thing about Link's Awakening versus DX is that the out-of-bound rule set is different. So things that you couldn't do in DX, normally you'd have to go up and around. In this game, just going to super jump onto the ceiling, just like that. Totally allowed, and just like that. Bam.
Yeah, it's inbound. You're not leaving the screen. JC waking up the whale.
That's definitely one thing I do love about the Link's Awakening and the DX, is the fact that the rule sets and the things are different enough. It's almost like having 2 entire games worth of categories if you wanna run them.
So JC still has full health. He's gonna have to still suicide completely.
Yeah, we usually do it on those enemies beforehand because they do more damage, so he's gonna take a little bit longer to do it here.
So time to take 10 hits. Just run into a cactus until you die. That's how it works.
Why won't the cactus let me love it?
But let me hug the cactus!
Alright, M-Chan, meanwhile, finishing successfully and quickly the first of what we call one of the 2 dumb jumps in the game. Going around that block is harder than you think. Thankfully, D4, despite being normally a bit of a somewhat maze-like, due to the magic of super jumps and just the Rock's Feather in general, we're gonna see both M-Chan and JC go through it real quick.
Meanwhile, cue ball, and no more cue ball.
And here we go, the ability to swim contained within a single flipper because we have a budget, you know.
Yeah, 1 flipper's gonna have to do.
And here we go. Normally you would have to go around using one of those 2D rooms to get to the nightmare key up here. Turns out, those P-hats, all we gotta do is super jump, bounce off the elevated P-hat, and just like that, no problem.
And there's your boss key, and now we're gonna go fight a boss.
Yep. Can you believe they designed the Rock's Feather to only be used on 1-tile gaps? Woohoo!
Yeah, you wouldn't know.
Oh, here we go. It's time for Anglerfish, Destroyer of Souls and Happiness.
Or maybe we're destroying it.
I mean, it's all fun and games until you take Anglerfish for granted, then Anglerfish makes a fool of you in front of everybody. It's true, yeah. I've seen it happen.
There you go.
So and here we go, setting up...
JC entering the dungeon as M-Chan gets his instrument skip, it looks like.
Yep, you sure did. Well done.
Is he 3 for 3 on that now?
Yeah, he's 2 for 2.
Oh, 2 for 2, so yeah, he didn't get the other one yet. Okay.
Yeah. And with D4 done, now a bit more of differing dungeon order. On his way up to Dungeon 7 next.
And if you remember anything about Dungeon 7 from the days you played this back in 1993 or whatever that was, that you may have played this on the Game Boy, you're going to see it done exceptionally fast.
Very different.
You might
also be wondering how they're going to do certain things, because you need the Dungeon 7 key, which is normally held behind the a flying rooster. You have to use to fly around a room. Well, normally you'd say just use, rooster skip, like in DX, where you use the hook shot. Yeah. You don't have the hook shot, but it doesn't matter. Because of the different out-of-bounds rules, the same we got in a D4, we're going to be using it to get that D7 key, using a trick we like to call rooster skip skip.
So it's a skip.
A skip of a skip.
Yeah, so skipping the skip, that means you're not skipping, right?
Oh, no. You're thinking of rooster skip skip skip. That's what we call just getting the rooster. Oh, M-Chan. That was a bit rough there. He super jumped way far to the left. If you're not careful here, you can accidentally go off the screen to the left, at which point you have wrong warped. That was a bit dicey there, but he gets it.
And you don't want to wrong warp in this category.
Nope. Now, here's the fun thing about D7. Honestly, you could theoretically do D7 after D8 here, but it's just faster to do it now. There's no better time to do it, because there's nothing in D7 we actually need aside from the instrument.
Yeah, get out of the way and not have to come back, not have to worry about it.
Yeah, D8 is the real jewel here. D8's dungeon item is the most important item for the last part of the game, so this is the earliest we can get it, which is why we're coming up here. And since we're up here in the mountains, might as well do D7. But hey, first, it's mushroom time once again. Here we go.
Get your mushrooms ready.
Let me see your mushrooms in chat. Wait, is there even a mushroom emote? Yo, JC getting himself that ICS. Real nice.
So there's your mushroom emote. I think it's the Discord version though, so it might not appear for some people.
Alright, now MChan about to oops, didn't quite do it right. He wanted to put the key into the keyhole as he was throwing the block, because then at that point Bow Wow can actually eat the cutscene. Instead we have to watch the tower turn.
So remember what we said that we're gonna see this done exceptionally fast? Get ready to watch our demolitions expert Link go to work here.
I think my favorite thing about D7 is the fact that A, it's a showcase of bomb triggers, but B, you're using bombs to break the pillars instead of the ball, which you'd figure, oh, it makes more sense, you know, demolitions and all that. But we're not putting the bombs anywhere near the pillars, and they're still collapsing. We're even doing that wrong.
Like, watch this. We're just gonna drop bombs, and it's gonna go down, just like that. And then you go up, and it drops just like that. It goes away. Just vaporizes. Like, it just goes away. Drop the bombs in the pit, they go away.
It's like we're walking into these pillars holding bombs, they're quaking, and then we just, without breaking eye contact, just drop a bunch of bombs in the pit, and this guy's like, man, doesn't even need bombs to break me down, I'm out of here.
Yeah, that one, you didn't even drop the bombs. And just like that, the demolition is complete.
We've now turned Eagle Tower from a 4-story tower into a 3-story tower.
Be inaccessible for the story otherwise.
Yeah. Meanwhile, JC about to do his own Rooster Skip Skip. Having a little bit of trouble setting up. Meanwhile, MChan about to do... Unfortunately, since we don't have hookshot, we have to do a trick called Goomba Surf here to make it up to the dungeon boss. So... Oh! Perfect positioning! Perfect jump.
Very nice.
Oh, that was so good. Yeah, that top Goomba has to move to the... You have to get either of the Goombas into the top right corner to bounce off of it. And it's a super jump, too. It's a little bit tough. You can't be all the way in the wall. You have to be a little bit in the wall. So that one's... You can lose a lot of time on Goomba Surf.
So, MChan fighting our bird friend right now who... just basically dropping bombs on the bottom of the screen. You know, they stop on a ladder as long as you have a screen border. It makes logical sense, does it not?
Mm-hmm.
And that's the dead bird. So, spoiler alert, this will be the last heart container we pick up today.
Spoilers?
Are we gonna get another instrument skip here?
It looks good.
You betcha.
We'll find out in a moment. Yep, he did. Alright, MChan leaving D7 as JC is getting ready to enter it here in a moment. Now with D7 done, only one thing in the mountain remains, and that is Dungeon 8.
And we're gonna be getting something that literally breaks the rest of the game.
More like it does a magic trick. It says, "Behold, where there once was game, now there is nothing."
Exactly.
Quite literally. But I'm gonna let you all think about that one before we get to it. It'll be a surprise.
Yeah, MChan takes a fall, then pulls out his mushroom and does the jump correctly. That's the space where the hook shot normally is needed. And oh, hi, Marin. What are you doing up here? You're just chilling. Okay, we'll just leave you here. Have fun.
My heart, my poor heart. So our punishment for being mean to Marin is to have to do unquestionably the most difficult mushroom jump in the entire run, right here. Ooh!
The pit of death.
And he has to make the jump now. Oh no, MChan!
Take 3.
Meanwhile, JC making real good use of screen transitions for his bomb triggers instead of using the pits.
He made it.
Ooh, that super jump! Off the bottom instead of the side. I love it. JC just styling right now. Meanwhile, MChan has to avoid the cabbage rain.
I think Bow Wow just ate a rock.
Bow Wow does that. He's a hungry boy.
Yeah, he eats rocks. I didn't know that.
Yeah, so remember we were talking earlier about the importance of wall clipping? Well, right here, gonna clip into this wall, and since we don't have the level 2 shield, wall clipping allows us to not get knocked back by the fire.
He took a death, though.
He didn't have enough health. He doesn't have enough health.
Well, he's gonna do it now.
He needs 6 hearts.
No.
Because the fire does 3 hearts of damage. Oh, there we go.
Okay,
well, 2.5 hearts. 2.5 hearts.
Got it.
Yeah, normally you count on taking 2 hits there, but it always is possible to get through taking only 1. It's just dangerous, especially with this heart count.
It's not a lot of time lost. It's not that big a deal.
Ooh, JC, meanwhile, having a struggle with Goomba Surf. Those Goombas being uncooperative.
Meanwhile, we get to watch this dragon come to life, or whatever this is.
A turtle.
Turtle, okay, and in we go.
Oh, JC, he got the Goomba he wanted, but he accidentally didn't get the super jump. There we go.
There it is.
He's stuck in the wall. He can get out with boots, though. There we go.
And MchanPlayz starts his tour of Dungeon 8, which he's not going to finish while he's here. He's just here for his important item.
Doing a little bit of menu optimization there. Something you may have noticed is that the Game Boy only has 2 buttons, so you have to use the menu to select what items are on each button. Menu routing becomes super duper important in this game. It can save you minutes over the course of a run.
And the question may be asked, why does the Game Boy only have 2 buttons? Well, it was the second thing that Nintendo produced, so it actually came before the Super Nintendo. That's why the Game Boy only has 2 buttons.
Oh, you know, Gunpei Yoko is a big fan of keeping it simple.
Yep, and boy, it's not really simple anymore, is it?
No. I guess to be fair, we haven't had a Game Boy since the Game Boy Advance, so...
Pretty much, yeah.
Alright, JC going for the ICS. It looks like he got it, and... Yep.
And time for the lava bath.
This room is rough. Ooh, he gets it, though. Well done, M-Chan. And now it's time for Blano, or rather time for not Blano, because once again, good times with Out of Bounds.
What wall?
But here it is. The true MVP of the run, the Magic Rod. Not the Fire Rod, the Magic Rod, because it doesn't just burn things. What it does is truly magical.
Yep, and you will see what we mean when we say that this game has now been officially broken.
So, here's the fun thing about Link's Awakening. You might have noticed earlier on, when things get really hectic on screen, everything just kind of slows down. This game has a pretty low sprite limit. Well, every time you use the Magic Rod, it shoots flames, and flames are sprites. So, if you do them on a screen transition like this, you overload the game's sprites, and things just don't load.
Yeah, this is an empty room. There's nothing funny about that room.
There should have been a mini-boss in there, but there isn't.
What mini-boss?
Alright, JC. Oh, JC did not get the position he wanted. Oh, he's doing multiple mushrooms to get down to that wall. Now, this part's tricky for M-Chan. He has to carefully... Perfect. That causes him to land into a single screen of Dungeon 7, and in that chest is the Dungeon 6 item, because, well, when you're in the wrong screen from a different dungeon, when you're not supposed to be there, what ends up in chests is, odd. But honestly, there's a real important reason we're doing that. That's because, if you play this game casually, you might remember, after beating D4, there's a whole subquest with a ghost that follows you around. Well, it turns out what activates that ghost is going a certain distance south on the map, which is where we have to go to enter D5. But once you have the ghost with you, you can't go into dungeons anymore. The ghost will be like, no, I don't wanna, because he's a wimp. It turns out, though, the game will not spawn the ghost if you have one specific item, the level 2 power bracelet. And now that M-Chan has it, well...
Yep, now he has a level 2 power bracelet. So, goodbye, ghost. So, we're taking a tour of the ruins right now with Bow Wow. You can hear the music, it's a little bit laggy here. So many sprites.
Yeah, the Armos maze is one of the laggiest parts of the game.
And now we're fine.
Yeah, thankfully this Armos Knight here, who is generally pretty gross, Magic Rod makes really short work of him. This is also a really powerful weapon, aside from being incredibly useful for tech. Alright, so JC with 5 hearts, he's gonna have to make sure he only takes 1 hit here. He does it. First try, real smooth.
Nice, very nice.
Alright, so JC about to go into D8. Meanwhile, M-Chan. Now, some folks actually like to use the Magic Rod to despawn Armos here as well. Although, honestly, just because of the time it takes to set it up, it's not actually faster than just going. So M-Chan doing the optimal.
JC about to walk into the Dungeon 8, and he's going to be getting his Magic Rod momentarily. Meanwhile, M-Chan making his way out of the ruins, and now making his way, I believe, to Dungeon 6, I think it was next?
Yep, Dungeon 6. Oh, this is where the not picking up heart containers becomes a problem, because from here on out, Magic Rod is going to be used to despawn bosses. You don't get heart containers, but things like these bomb fairies, those bombs hurt, and oh, this is bad news for M-Chan.
Oh,
okay, that was close. That was close. Because if you die on your way to that particular staircase, you go all the way back inside the Armos maze. That's a really unfortunate place to die, but we've seen it happen.
That's a lot of travel, yeah.
Yep. Oh, M-Chan is showing off more magic right there. Using the Magic Rod, he despawned the cutscene.
Yeah, the Magic Rod is so magical that you can skip an entire cutscene, ladies and gentlemen.
And D6 is pretty much the showcase of deloading. Right there, you deloaded a tile puzzle. Here you're going to deload a bunch of whiz robes.
What whiz robes?
I didn't see any whiz robes.
I didn't either.
Looks like the temp agency fell through again. That's the last time we work with them. Alright, and there we go. Just a little bit more super jumping. Yeah, D6 is a really quick, really cool dungeon in this game. Between deloading and super jumps, you just completely do it an unintended way, and it's spectacular.
I love how he just throws the pot at the chest and opens it.
Yeah. It's the only time you do that, too. So you're just kind of like, how do I open the chest? And it's like, well...
It's just funny to see that every time.
Yep, and now M-Chan also going to deload the hit block right here, so he can jump down. And now JC also has the power of the Magic Rod as he passes right over the Lemonade Lake.
Lemonade.
Despawning there, despawning the next room. Having a little bit of trouble setting it up, though.
And there we go.
And the boss of D6 is Facade, a giant face in the floor, but Facade called in sick today.
Wait a minute, you said there's a boss here? What boss?
Boss called in sick. Oh,
yeah.
M-Chan not getting ICS here, though.
So,
we get to hear this sick triangle solo.
We get to hear the musical cutscene. That may or may not be the last time you hear this in this tournament, depending how often that gets skipped.
Yep. We cannot emphasize enough how difficult instrument cutscene skips actually are. M-Chan's been making them look easy. JC is also making them look easy. They are genuinely challenging.
I think that was actually the first one that either of them missed. Am I right?
As far as I remember, yes.
Yeah.
They've been doing very well with those. Alright, M-Chan on his way to Dungeon 5, while JC going to be on his way... Oh, pardon me. To get the Dungeon 6 key now.
And now through this underwater tunnel, because, you know, you can breathe infinitely. If you want to stay down here, just breathe normally. And into the dungeon.
Yeah, Dungeon 5 is another dungeon that benefits greatly from being able to deload things, because the dungeon's gimmick with Master Stalfos is really obnoxious, but when you don't have to deal with Master Stalfos, it's not a problem.
I didn't see Master Stalfus anywhere, did you?
Well, we're not even at his room yet.
Nah, maybe he's not aware that this was the time.
Yeah, one, I guess, debatably unfortunate thing here is that the D5 item is the hook shot, which is a very useful item, and they're not going to be getting it. Because since the only boss that needs the hook shot is the boss of this dungeon, but we're going to deload it, so
Yeah, I mean, if you don't need... The reason they don't get the hook shot is because they can do everything without it. That's really the reason.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's a useful item, but it's not useful if you don't need it.
It's true. It's true. Oh man, JC... Oh my god, JC... chugging along at like 3 frames per second there in the Armos maze.
But he is getting through.
And that was Master Stalfos' room. Master Stalfos is probably inside that treasure chest. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, don't ask how he fits in there.
I mean, when you're a pile of bones, you can make yourself fit in a lot of places, I suppose.
True, I guess. And underwater we go. Hey, Blooper.
Unfortunately, you cannot deload dumb jumps. The next room is the other dumb jump in the run, which is a bit tough. We'll see how it goes for M-Chan here.
It's kind of unfortunate you can't deload dumb jumps. I mean, that's kind of dumb, don't you think?
Yeah. The only way to counteract dumb is with more dumb, and unfortunately, it just becomes a dumb singularity where you have to jump anyway.
That sounds dumb.
It is.
So moving upwards, M-Chan is, and another despawn, and nope, nothing here. Carry along.
Nothing
Another
to see
despawn.
here.
Nope, nothing to see. Move on. Move along. Just go downstairs. Oh, hey, Choop Choops. Or whatever those are called in the Mario world.
Okay, so a bit more deloading, a bit more super jumps, and M-Chan is almost done with D5. JC, meanwhile, about to head into D6.
And here's another big jump. Now, we just saw the previous race. We saw White Wolf was to skip along through the wall on this room without having to do another dumb jump. But M-Chan does the dumb jump and does the cutscene, or gets the dungeon boss skip, gets the instrument cutscene skip, it looks like, and he's out of it.
Yeah, with that, M-Chan is ready to finish off Dungeon 8 and Dungeon 2 now. So M-Chan's on home stretch here, just doing final cleanup before heading to the egg.
We'll talk about that egg in a moment when we get there. Oh, look, a mermaid.
Poor mermaid dropped her swimsuit. Unfortunately, she's never going to get it back because we're not going to go find it.
It's kind of funny that in the Japanese game it wasn't a swimsuit. I'll let chat speculate on that.
Well, because you know, Nintendo of America said children aren't allowed to know about bikinis. None of that.
Exactly.
that is forbidden knowledge.
Apparently, Japan is more cultured than America was.
Oh, I like that move from M-Chan, stopping to charge that tree to get the fairy. That tree always has a fairy in it.
And here we go into the dungeon again.
Yep, a little bit more super jumping here, and he's going to get himself over to the boss door. It's a little bit tough to set up. He's got to do a short super jump for the first one to not land in the lava, and then a second one to get over. And through the empty boss room to get himself the drum.
And this is one annoying boss, so I have no problem with despawning that one.
Oh,
no skip.
No skip,
we
no
get another
boys. Double disqualified. Double disqualified.
Oh, I want to hear that solo. Oh, wow.
I'm sorry. My being upset over the lack of both things is louder than the drums.
So we're gonna go back to D2 now. Remember how we first went to D2 and while we were taking Bow Wow for a walk? We're gonna go back there now, and we still have Bow Wow with us because you know we're again the responsible Hillian who is visiting, and you know what? We'll keep taking him for a walk as long as you want us to.
Until the end of time.
Until he no longer exists.
Well, honestly, the big reason we wait until to do D2 is the D2 boss, even with a quick kill, is long and annoying because it talks a lot and it has multiple phases.
We should talk about this room quickly because they have to clear those enemies in a specific order. Notice he killed the bunny, then the bat, the keys, and then the sorcerer. I forget what you call that one, but you have to kill him in that specific order, or the room or the chest will not appear, and you cannot get the boss key.
Yeah, the game will actually give you the hint. Pulse voice first, then Stealthos last.
Oh, Stealthos, that's it.
And here we go. There's supposed to be a genie in here that talks a whole bunch and has a bottle and some nonsense, but we don't care about that. You've heard of Half Genie Hero? How about no genie?
Wait, there's a genie there? I didn't see the genie, did you?
Genie was canceled.
We didn't rub the lamp.
So get himself 6 of 7 instrument skips. Real nice.
So we're on the... Yeah, 5 of 7 it was. So we're on the way to the egg right now, and he's going to play a lovely melody, and I think this is the point at which we should probably not say anything, let the melody play as soon as he gets up there, which should be in about a matter of seconds.
Oh, okay.
First, we're going to see spawn a cutscene. Music time. So beautiful. So that's going to cause a hold up here of the windfish egg. It's going to cause the owl to come harass us one last time. And as JC continues his trek through, I believe that's Dungeon 6. I can't tell with that palette.
Dungeon 5.
Dungeon 5 now, sorry. So he's despawning a room in there. And we're now in the windfish egg. And there's a developer route in here because the developers did not want to have to go to the library to test this every time they wanted to check the final boss in their testing. So they left a developer route for themselves. And if you don't go to the library, you get to follow that route. You don't have to follow the library route. And how about the final boss?
Alright, so this part's actually kind of super important because since they don't have the powder, they need to get the quick kill set up here, otherwise they're in real rough spot. Perfect. Because you can only damage this enemy with the powder. So if you miss the quick kill and you don't have didn't go back and get the powder, well, you're soft locked.
And that would be unfortunate. So meanwhile, Aghanim. Or Shadow Aghanim, I guess is a better way to put it. So you remember that blue ball? Remember that orb and blue ball thing? We're gonna... I think the quick kill sets up so you only get orbs if I'm not mistaken. Otherwise, it's completely random. Well, that was I think that was a blue ball, actually. There we go. And then we have a Shadow Moldorm, which was basically a Shadow Moldorm head.
Oh, he lost it!
Got away.
He
lost it. But he got it quickly.
Only 2 phases remain. I'll get more like 1.5, because the second to last phase barely counts. Oh, Mchan having to play it safe, though. His health is really low, and Deathel, the final phase, is dangerous with his arms. They do a hard damage.
So for those who missed Ganon, there was your Ganon fight. Shadow Ganon.
Oh, meanwhile, JC did not get ICS on the Wind Marimba. Gonna get that sweet Marimba solo. But this is Deathel. 16 arrows in its eye when it finally decides to open it.
There it is.
And those arms, those jumps that Mchan is doing to dodge the arms with a single jump are actually pretty tight. If you jump too early, too late, you get hit, take a full heart.
They are very tight jumps, it looks like. And that eye is being very slow to open. I think we're up to about 9 hits now, maybe 3 more.
Oh, he tanked.
Oh. There it is.
He was doing really well. You can get 4 hits in a single round, but it's tight.
I think you can even get 5 for some players. Get 5 in one round. But that is everything, and as soon as he climbs the staircase and the screen fades to white, that will be time with his 6 rupees.
Oh my god! So you remember how I mentioned that Mchan's PB was a 52-something? Not anymore.
Yeah, not anymore.
That's a fat PB.
That's a huge PB. That was a 53:45 race PB that he had. He just improved that by 4 minutes and 13 seconds. His official SRL time, 49 minutes and 32 seconds. A sub 50. Get your GGs in chat.
Very well done from M-Chan.
Very nice.
Meanwhile, JC still making his way through stuff. About to finish off D8 here in a moment. Oops! Accidentally gets on the ladder.
Whoops. No harm done. Just get back off the ladder and go up and despawn the lemonade creature.
And M-Chan, congratulations, both on the win and that PB.
I did not know I was going to PB that run, honestly, with how that run was going for me.
Oh, that was a massive PB. Congratulations on that.
Thank you.
So you said with how you're feeling about how it was going. So you weren't feeling too good about that run. What was going through your head during this race?
Well, I wasn't really that nervous. I just failed on some parts that I just failed on some really silly stuff, like dong skip. Both attempts were bad. D5 was a little bit sloppy. What else? What else? There was something else in that run that I wasn't happy about. I'll let you know when I think about it.
Okay.
But there was something else in that run that was not satisfying. Oh, right. Flame skip. I died twice on flame skip.
Ooh, yeah. Took 2 hits when you only had 5 hearts. That's a surprisingly rough trick you go in there with low health.
Yeah. But PB is PB, so I'll take it, I guess.
We take those.
Yeah.
Especially a 4-minute race PB.
Yeah, for SRL. But my real-time PB was 49:47 coming into this.
Ah.
Oh, so okay, because the one we saw listed on SRC was still the 52, I think it was.
Yeah, my new PB is still not on the boards yet.
That was a 53:45 in SRL.
Yeah. Alright, so where's JC at the moment?
He just got he didn't get the instrument cutscene skip, but I think he just got his last instrument from D2, so he's on the way to the Windfish.
Oh, okay.
So JC actually is very much into where he can PB, because PB is a 56-something, so if he has a really, really strong egg, he can still pull this out.
Oh, nice.
I think my sense of time might be a little bit skewed.
It's gonna be if that is his PB still, that's gonna be a very close to his PB. This is gonna be close.
And then he gets the owl.
Not as close anymore.
Oh boy. Actually, I think he might be out of luck then, because he still has to get this cut. He has to sit through the instrument, and then he still has to do all the phases of Nightmare.
This is about 25-30 seconds right here. Just listen to the music again.
Yeah. It's still gonna be a strong time for him, but well, I will say, I definitely think he was empowered by this use of a palette.
I actually, I did not know that the palette that I was using was gonna make the dark rooms pitch black, so I literally could not see anything in like the torch room in D2 and the few other dark rooms.
Yeah, we saw you having trouble with the the pit that kills.
The one on the way to D8.
Yeah.
Oh no, that one I could see fine. It's just the other dark rooms.
All other ones, okay.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
Wow.
What is
so
this?
Bright.
What is this?
When lens flare goes wrong.
Oh, he almost took a third left. He almost made a mistake there, but got it corrected.
No
Can we get
oopsie
some
today.
cool cats in the chat?
I think we do. I think we can.
And now we have the white blob of evilness.
All right, here we go. Hopefully he can get himself that quick kill, not have to deal with the... Oh, no!
Uh-oh.
So,
Oh, that's...
This is rough. He can still do it, but now every hit is frame perfect.
This could cost him the PB.
Yeah, no, the PB's off the table at this point.
Yeah, this is going to cost him the PB.
Yeah, this is unfortunate.
That's really rough.
Yeah, this is why you actually see some folks do the other route where you finish D8 immediately and then go and then go get the powder from the witch. Just give her the mushroom. Unfortunately, unlike LADX, you can't just use the mushroom on the blob because it's an instant kill if you use the mushroom on the blob in DX. All right, let's see how Aghanim goes.
Yep, we're on Shadow Aghanim.
Yep. Yeah, unlike his Link to the Past brethren, Aghanim here does not have an upper limit on how many blue balls he can give you. He can give you an infinite number. The first 2 hits are free. After that, it's up to luck, unless you know the manip. I don't think JC does. But he gets perfect luck anyway. What a legend.
If there was anything I was a little worried about coming into this race, it was LADX muscle memory, because that's what I was working on recently this week.
Oh yeah, that's...
that would throw you off, yeah.
Yeah.
I know that's been a concern for me since I played so much LADX and so little LA in recent years.
Yeah. Like, for as little I've ran like this version of the game in general, like a lot of the stuff exclusive to this version is still new to me.
But honestly, I think that's part of what makes it great, though. It's so different, it's almost like running a different game, so it's just like a whole lot of variety if you like Link's Awakening.
Yeah.
So we're on the final phase for JC right now, just keeping up with what's going on there. He's on the final eyeball boss. I think about 5 hits left, 4 or 5 hits. 2 more should do it, and there it is.
Get out of here, Deathel. Nobody likes you.
And he's going to momentarily be climbing the stairway to destroying everything.
Ooh, left side stair climb.
And he picks up something and carries it up with him.
He's bringing an offering for the windfish.
Exactly. So that's the official SRL time of 57 minutes and 47 seconds. Get your GGs in chat.
GGs to JC. Yeah, trying to bomb trigger the windfish. There you go.
Yeah, we could just despawn the windfish. There you go.
Yeah, just use the magic rod on the windfish. Well,
completely skip the credits.
We're just lost. We're just stuck on the staircase. You can't go anywhere because you despawn everything.
You know, sometimes that's okay. Ooh boy, this palette of windfish is something else.
Oh my, that is a creepy looking winged creature.
He has good look.
Oh man.
Oh my.
And here he is, JC. GG.
So the deal was 10 minutes off if I play inverted palette, right?
I wasn't privy to this discussion. I honestly don't know.
We did not make such a deal, I don't believe. Unless MchanPlayz recalls such a deal.
I need sunglasses for your screen.
Yeah, I was playing through most of it, and I got to Dungeon 2. It's like, oh my gosh, this is so bright.
Just the ghost room.
I mean, it's Yours is probably better than mine. Where the palette that I use, my dark room, all my dark rooms were like pitch black. I couldn't see a thing.
Oh man. So like, I mean, otherwise I wouldn't feel that bad on inverted at all. I just failed the normal stuff. No big deal.
Yeah, I had that fall on Moldorm in the first dungeon.
I fell.
Yeah.
I didn't die this time, so.
No, you didn't die. You just fell.
Yeah.
I died 4 times.
Everybody had
still-
all the troubles.
And still sub 50 if he died that too. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think 2 of the deaths actually came in that flame, that very heavy hurting flame where you're expected to have the mirror shield.
Yeah, flame skip.
2 of the deaths came from that flame skip, so that was 2 of the 4 deaths right there. That only ate up about, I don't know, 10 seconds.
What? There's another shield in this game?
Yeah, who knew?
Oh. I thought I just did everything as intended this time.
I mean, you know, it's
These are
bonus
casual
stuff, like
strats
side
that we all
quests.
use.
Oh, DLC stuff. Got it.
Whoa, in a Game Boy game.
Yeah, you had to pay to download the DLC using a specialized cartridge.
Yeah.
you take it to a certified Nintendo location and they plug it into a machine and it adds to it. It's magic.
Yeah, it just changes the ROM on the cartridge. It's magical.
So kind of like Mew and the original Pokemon.
Something like that.
Yeah, except you don't have to go playing under a truck.
Wow.
That sounds dangerous. I don't want to try that.
People were really desperate in those days, okay? Any little bit of printed information on a magazine, regardless of how shady it was, might as well have been informational gold. You're like, it sounds fake, but what if it's not?
And back then, we didn't have eBay either.
Alright, so... I think I was 3 out of 7 on ICS? Maybe 4? One of those two?
I think you were 4, and M-Chan was 5, I want to say.
Yeah, I was 5.
Yeah, M-Chan was 5.
Which is the most I've ever gotten so far.
Nice.
Yeah. I'm
Congrats.
still really bad at this trick.
It's frame perfect. I don't think anyone's truly good at it.
You just get better at getting it frame perfect. That's all you can really do.
Just have so much caffeine that you can see each frame as they go by.
Oh, gosh.
Looking at JC's Crash, you're only seeing half the letters.
It's just fine. You just brew yourself a pot of coffee using 5-hour energy instead of water. I don't actually condone this. I like coffee, but I'm pretty sure that's kind of fatal.
Yeah, you can't ruin the coffee.
Exactly. JC knows what's up.
Yeah.
Internet high five. But
Yep.
I'm a little bit fresh out of questions though. What else is on both of yours minds? Like how you feeling? What's up? What you got going on?
I'm thinking I shouldn't do things I haven't practiced in runs or races. I
Okay.
probably should have just done the good old RNG blob fight rather than try to go for a sub I don't even know how to do yet. Because there's supposed to be there's a setup so you can get the guaranteed 3 pokes and not worry about the random 1 or 3 pokes at the start of Nightmare. So if I misremembered what I was told and haven't actually practiced it.
Oops.
And I think
Oh, well.
I actually would have PB'd if it wasn't for that one. Even coming back from a minute and a half behind, but oh well. No big deal.
You'll get it next time.
Yep.
So, Mac, with that said, so what will you two be doing to prepare for your matchup next week? This being Swiss, we don't know who it's going to be, but it could be anyone.
I probably just continue doing more runs in preparation with it. If I'm motivated to, because quite honestly, this category is not for me.
I can respect that. There's definitely a lot of weirdness in this category, especially compared to LADX categories.
I can respect too because everyone has their favorite category, and if you have your favorite category, you don't want to stray from that. But sometimes you just have to see how you compare it to other categories when the opportunity comes up. So,
Yeah.
Well, you know what they say: the grass is always more mustard yellow on the other side of the fence.
I've actually, recently started learning 100% for this version of Link's Awakening, and I've actually been enjoying it more.
very nice.
Yeah.
What?
Nothing.
Okay.
Sure.
Well, JC, it was nice racing you again. We should totally, do. It's been a while, and we should do. We should
SM.
definitely, race more Super Metroid: A Link to the Past sometime.
Sometime, yeah.
Yeah.
Well said. I don't know about you, Cyclone. I think I'm out of questions. I think unless you got anything.
Yeah, I think I think you already asked the one main one I would have asked, which is how they're going to prepare for next week, and we already done that. So, yeah, I don't really have anywhere else to go with that either. Oh, you can go ahead and answer. How are you going to prepare for next week?
Do absolutely nothing. No,
Excellent.
I've got a lot of stuff that's due next week, so I'm not gonna have much grinding time before then. So no big deal.
I mean, sometimes winging it usually gives you the better results.
Yeah, like last week, I didn't play for like a month and I got a PB.
It's actually funny how that works sometimes. Not playing for a while, you come back and you just feel refreshed. It's like, yeah, I'm going to just play this. Whatever happens. And all of a sudden, boom, PB. It's like, wow, where did that come from? So it's just like that.
It's like this thing where it's like you practice too much, you start to play worse because because the more you're practicing like particular things, you're expecting those things to go right.
Yeah, exactly. And that's like, it happens to me just playing casual games all the time. I play and not so much. I'm like, you know what? I don't understand why this isn't working. Then I take a week off. I go back and it's like, hey, all of a sudden everything's working right. Like I just needed time off. That's all I needed. So, and that can be the same with speedrunning as well. You just suddenly get a PB because you haven't played for a while. And it's like, okay, I remember how to do everything, but I'm probably not going to have a good run. So whatever happens, and you just play with that, not caring, not expecting everything to go right. And all of a sudden everything just goes right.
Yeah, I mean, as long as I get sub hour every race in the tournament, I'm happy.
Well, you're 2 out of 4 so far.
Yeah. So, it's all good.
Cool. Speaking of the second round of Swiss, though, we do have a few more races left in the week. If you need some more Link's Awakening fix,
do you have that up?
Yes, that's.
Go ahead.
We have 2 races on Saturday, 11 a.m. and 1 p.m., and a race on Sunday at the crack of noon. 3 races at very convenient hours.
Yes, crunchy 11.
Yeah, you're in one of those races on Saturday, too.
So I am.
Actually, both people I commentated races with this evening are racing on Saturday at 11 a.m., so go watch them on Saturday at 11 a.m. I see JC's already lined up to call that one himself.
I can't believe we have Matt and myself involved in a race and neither of us is talking. That's kind of weird.
Whoa.
But be sure to come back for those, friends.
Yeah.
Indeed, they're all this weekend, so make sure to come back for those if you want to see more Link's Awakening. Meanwhile, let's take a moment to look at what's coming up tonight here on Speed Gaming. For those of us watching live, obviously, those of you watching on YouTube, you'll see one of those other races that was mentioned coming up next here on the playlist. But for those of you watching live, we do have other events going on. In fact, coming up on this very channel in about 16 minutes, we're just going to flip over to it momentarily. We have the Link to the Past Randomizer Daily Race, Standard Daily Race going on. That is going to be coming up in 16 minutes here, so stay tuned for that. We do have Mega Man 2 Randomizer going on the main channel. That's a tournament going on in the Mega Man 2. That game's all completely randomized. That's really interesting to see, so that's another thing you can watch if Link to the Past doesn't interest you, but this is Zelda, so why not? That's pretty much what's on tonight. Later on the main channel, there'll be some Super Mario Brothers Warpless going on. That's also a tournament, really quick run. So that's coming up on the main channel later as well. And that's about it for the evening. So, You can go to speedgaming.org/schedule for more information on that and everything else coming up. For example, other things, just very quick list tomorrow. There's some Kirby, there's some Luigi's Mansion, more Mega Man 2 randomizer, Super Metroid, Double Anti-Bingo. This is all coming up tomorrow. So get all the information on those and other events out of our schedule, and exclamation mark schedule in the live chat will bring that up as well.
So once again,
go ahead.
I was going to say, MChan, once again, congrats. GG on the PB and your win. Good luck next week. But I think we are out of things to say.
Yep, we're just got to wrap up and hand over to the link to the past randomizer. So again, congrats, MChan, and good game, JC. Thank you for the race. Make sure to follow both runners. That is jaysee87 and MChan338. For those of you watching on YouTube, twitch.tv, followed by either of those names will get you to them. Make sure to follow my co-commentator, Crunchy Lex, as well. And I am Cyclone or Cyclone GU. Any last thoughts from you, Crunchy Lex?
Oh, no, I'm out.
Okay. In that case, have a great night, everyone, and we'll see you for the next one. Stay tuned for Link to the Past Rando right here on Speed Gaming 3. Have a good night.
Night, everybody.
Thanks for watching, everyone.